Don't say you're down. You gotta stand up and fight. Got to stand up. Don't say you're down. You gotta stand up and fight. Got to stand up. Don't say you're down. You gotta stand up and fight. Oh, you got to stand up.
This is our studio.
Hey everyone, it's your girl, My Gems.
And your boy Tony Benjamin, you already know.
Y'all already know we're back with another episode of Dropping Gems 252.
In the building.
Yes, so today's topic, we want to just go ahead and tune in with you guys today. I wrote down a few notes for us to discuss, but what we're going to be talking about is getting out of your victim mindset and not allowing your circumstances to, define who you are.
Define you.
And kind of control you by the situation you're in.
Yeah.
And I wrote down a note and I wanted to let you guys know by saying, first up, remember this. You are not a victim. And if you keep going, no matter how many times someone wrongs you, if you keep moving forward and don't let them slow you down, that's on them. You have the power to change your life. You have the power. No one else other than you have that power. And sometimes it takes a few falls, a little bumps, a little, things to get you back in alignment. But at the end of the day, anything that happens to you usually comes up to make you stronger and better in the future to further, handle situations versus.
Like you had said previously on another episode we did, you got to remember that you are not your situation.
Facts. You are never going to be your situation. The situation is there for you to help move you forward into the next level of life.
Yeah, you got to go in it with the mindset of what can I learn from this situation.
Right, because I know for one thing, we are not, when we get treated badly by other people, we tend to take on that as and blame ourselves for the treatment that was given to us. But I just want you guys to remember that if someone treats you badly, it's up to them to change their behavior. It's not up to you. It's not your job to fix the problem. It's only you only fix your problem that you need to heal with, with whatever comes your way in a sense. It's like it's a reflection of what you don't want and what you could work on within yourself instead of, trying to make someone else change their ways. So, yeah.
Because if they don't want to change, they're not going to. And you're only going to stress yourself out and frustrate yourself trying to force somebody to change when they don't want to change.
Yeah, because to be honest, all you can really do is like move forward and, prove them that no matter what circumstances that you're in, that, you couldn't be stopped no matter how, how worst off they wanted you to be. So, the most important thing I would advise for anyone that is going through that feeling of getting up out of a rut that you felt someone put you in, but really learning how to get out of the projections of what people feel you should be in because of what they want for you instead of what you want for yourself.
Legitimate.
Like, I would really advise everyone to remember that God is the controller of everything. Like, God is in control, and all you could do is just follow His lead and follow your inner knowing and your intuitive nudge that you could feel that it's everything that is happening to you is not happening to you. It's really happening for you.
Like, and you got to remember that you're gonna have situations and obstacles, things, but you can't control that. You can control you and how you respond in those situations, and when you come up against those obstacles, and there lies a choice. Do you want to be a winner or a loser, so to speak?
Facts.
Winners face it head on. Losers play victim.
Play victim.
This is too hard. Why is this happening to me? Why can't I, overcome whatever? You know what I'm
And
saying? Winners don't attack it with that mindset. They attack it with, all right, this what it is. Let me handle it. Let me handle business. Let me do what I got to do.
yeah,
You know,
because at that moment when anything is happening to you, it's literally you should be asking yourself, what is this supposed to be teaching me?
right,
Versus what I'm instead of blaming yourself or blaming the other person or blaming anything but you're not really blaming anybody, but just taking accountability and realizing what is it that I need to learn from this situation that I can better myself in. Because at that very moment, God has given you everything that you need to overcome that, whether you see it, believe it or not. He has already given that because He won't give you anything that you can't handle.
facts.
And that's something we should always take heed to. He's already given you so much ahead, and He's already, it's up to you to prove to yourself and to others that you don't need anyone else to be successful in life and to you know move yourself. You can do this on your own. Like once you actually tap into your inner being and you work on those triggers, you learn not to victimize yourself. You learn to go, oh, I know where that comes from. I need to work on that. I'm not
Right,
going to give you my power because I refuse to go into a deeper knowledge about what that trigger is.
right. And once you start to be aware of your own of yourself and everything, you start to elevate. And then, but you're gonna run into people who your your elevation frightens them. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And they want that energy exchange from you that they used to get.
And that's a real thing because when you're elevating, you're becoming a reflection to others, and you're forcing them to either upgrade with you or stay where they're at. And some people are being forced to realize where they're at and the choices that led them to where they're at today. And if you're stuck in playing victim in every situation when you're not taking accountability for the choice that made that led up to this point, it kind of sounds insane because, for example, I know someone who's always complaining about a relationship that isn't satisfying, but yet they choose to continue to be in it when they already are aware of what it comes with. And it's like you're mad at how far it got you when you already knew what it was from the beginning, but yet you felt that.
All right, that's that choosing to be toxic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and this relationship is not benefiting you in any way. It's not helping you grow or elevate. It's only like you stay stressed out, you stay in a certain mindset, you stay down all the time, then you should probably choose to be happy and get out of that relationship.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're always complaining, man, about all the time, money, effort, energy, everything that you put into that relationship. When you can take all that energy and move it to somewhere else, what's already done is already done. You have an infinite amount of energy where you can take what you learn from whatever you got from that. You could take the lesson and move on to a better outcome. Like you could literally start all over whenever you need to, regardless of how anybody may take effect on what by your change. Your change is necessary because you can't dream to fly and still be a caterpillar who refuses to go into its cocoon to transform itself to become that. Instead, you want to blame the fact that you are a caterpillar and you don't have what it takes to make that next move because you feel that everything about your life and where you're at, you can't make it to that top tree. You can't do this, you can't do that. Everything around you is stopping you, but really you're
You're
stopping
stopping yourself.
yourself, you know.
Right. And I was just gonna say,
She on me
what
a
I
soda.
right,
I don't
I
drink
got
soda like that, but
you.
you know.
But mind you, like it's like I find that people who know, especially people who are aware of what the problem is and don't take any steps towards getting out of that situation or changing that situation, to me, you enjoy being the victim. because you
Yes.
like the type of energy that comes with that when people are trying to empathize or sympathize with what you're going through.
Yeah,
You know
they
what I'm saying? You
enjoy.
like that energy. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Of people's empathy and
Not
their
only do
sympathy.
they enjoy it, they like the benefits that comes with when someone who's not even someone who can see what they're going through, but yet they enable them to keep, making them feel like, oh well, all you have to do is just hope for the best and rely on that little potential you see and hopefully you'll get better, but really they're doing nothing but enabling you once again.
Right.
And a lot of us who play victim don't realize we have, or not us, because those who do play victim, because once in our life we might have played that, but that's because you were unaware of that situation. But once you become aware of the changes that you can do, the things that you can do to make you, to shift you into a better energy or to a different realm that you want to move toward, it takes that accountability. But
Right.
playing victim is going to keep you at a stalemate. It's going to keep you stagnant. It's going to keep you in a
Complacent.
constant
in a cycle.
cycle of victimizing yourself. Oh, the world is out to get me. The world is doing me wrong. The world is not doing nothing but what the world is meant to do.
Trust me, the world doesn't, and pardon my French, the world doesn't give a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? You have to give a fuck about you.
Imagine this. The reality of it is, how much more attractive are you when you actually give a fuck about yourself versus when you don't? And when you don't, you get mad when people don't treat you with value because you don't treat yourself with value. You're always playing victim and you want someone to feel sorry for you. You want someone to sympathize with you, but yeah, you're not making the change to get better. And yes, some people can sympathize and feel sorry, but if you're not making any changes to be better, then you're just like the boy who cried wolf.
Right.
You're like constantly putting yourself there and then waiting for a reaction of someone else to help comfort you in your toxic ways.
And trust and believe those people around you who are sympathizing and empathizing with you currently, eventually they're gonna get frustrated and fed up. You know what I'm saying? And then they're gonna stop fucking with you.
And they're gonna let me tell you,
they're gonna choose themselves over you. Trust me.
Okay? That's why I always say you matter first. At the end of the day, anybody that treats you any kind of way, is how they treat you is not how you should treat yourself. It's like based on their behavior, they're working on things that they're working on, and you can allow someone else's um way of treatment to make you, to determine how you should be treating yourself in a way. Like they're calling you this, they're treating you like this because you're kind of allowing it, but not really allowing it. You're not standing your ground. You're not setting your boundaries. You're not you're not really stepping into the power that you're being, that the situation is trying to put you in.
Right.
It's like this is happening for you so that you can find the power, the courage, the mindset, the change that you need to make things better for yourself. It's like I have been through a lot in my life, and yet I took accountability for where I played my part, for it to even let for anything, for this to come to the point where I'm at, or even where I was at in those moments. It's like I knew what led to that point, and that comes with doing the inner work. That comes with shadow work. That comes with saying, okay, I was wrong. Okay, maybe that person reacted like that because this happened. Yeah. Maybe that happened because I wasn't aware. And now that those things come, you go and say, okay, I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I'm going to change and do better so that situation won't ever happen again. Yeah, I won't play victim and just be like, oh, I'm always in a relationship where the man hits me, or I'm always in a relationship where I can never be loved. What are you choosing? What are you not recognizing in the patterns that you are constantly putting yourself in, that is causing you to lead, that is leading you up to the same point that you keep trying to run away from?
Right. And just to even get started down that journey, to realize your own missteps or your own, account.
Like your own mistakes.
Yeah,
it's not mistake, it's mistakes. Doing your own mistakes, because constantly you have to go through the same thing with different people, in order for you to really see it. And it may not work with the first one. It may work with the second one. It may not work with the second one. But each one of those situations you've been in, you learn from each one. You get one step closer to finding out where you need to be.
Yeah, and that starts with like you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and take accountability for yourself, and because you're the common denominator in every relationship or situation you've ever been in that didn't work out in your favor, you are the common denominator. Now, whether it work out in your favor or not depends on how you look at it. If you didn't learn nothing from the situation, it's because you wasn't trying to learn anything from the situation.
You
Didn't
were
take
ignoring.
accountability
Yeah.
for your own actions. You know what I'm saying? You didn't approach it with the mindset that I'm gonna learn from whatever this is.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
that's a good thing you said that, because the mindset, a lot of things, like a lot of relationships that I've been in with friends, family, relationships, romantic relationship, it's like I I had to be in those relationships in order to find out the way, like how I was moving, like why this was happening for me versus to me, because it was like it wouldn't happen but so many times. It was only one or two times it could happen where I could go, okay, you know what, this has happened before, let me catch that, nip it in the bud. But if I see the same pattern in the same person and yet I'm like still going for it, then I'm actually allowing that, I'm not recognizing something within myself that I refuse to see, that I'm
And
attracting these,
acknowledge, right?
acknowledge that. It's like I'm gonna refuse to acknowledge that I have some healing that I need to do. And the whole time you're working on learning how to be to yourself, but yet you're still going from person to person, not even giving yourself a chance to even
To
to be alone.
be alone and learn yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're so busy using those people to define you rather than you defining you. You
Yes,
know what I'm
like
saying?
these people can't make you happy. You have to already be happy with yourself,
Yeah.
and everyone else is just like a bonus. It's like no one can take you out of your place. Like no one can take you off your square, because it's you and your square. Everyone around you and your square. You can enjoy everyone that's around you, but at the end of the day, you have the power to control which moves that you're going to make.
Yeah. It's all about choice.
Yeah,
You
because
know what I'm saying? You can choose to accept whoever's in your life. You can choose to accept them for who they are, and even if they have certain things about them that you don't outright get with, it ain't for you. But if you choose to be happy with that person, you'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? It's a choice, but that's depends all that said. That still depends on you. You know
hmm
what I'm saying? Like, are you willing to deal with whatever this is that you don't quite get with? You know what I'm
yes.
saying? Or something you haven't experienced personally, but that this person does. You
And
know what I'm
then, and
saying?
then, and another way you could look at it is, it's like, can I deal with this for the rest of my life, even if it wasn't even meant? But it's like getting into a contract with anybody, basically, with anybody that you come into contact with. You come into contact with, and you come into agreement to have a contract with this person to help level you up in a way, to help give you a clearer view of who you are and what choices that where your choices in life lead you, and who comes into your life to help you see through those choices that you made. And it's like, now that, when you choose someone, you choosing them off of your own experience in a way. It's like, I chose you because I didn't know I have um a thing with, for example, like me not being aware of the kind of guys that I was attracting. I was attracting a lot of narcissistic men in my life, and I would blame them for treating me that way, but yet I was not taking accountability for me, um accepting. Like, I was accepting less than I deserved, and yet wanting better from someone who wasn't showing me that they could give me better. And if I was going to allow myself to continue to be in a relationship, or whatever that, it's a relationship, because it's a ship that we're all in together. We're relating with each other for that moment, and whenever it ends, it ends. But that relationship we had with that person, for my own experience, it showed me where I lacked in were my own boundaries and my own, you know, my own way of how I think, how I see myself at those times. And it's like I didn't play victim. I literally saw what I needed to see, and I learned my lesson the first time. And then the second time I got tested, I realized I was still growing and still learning. I was like, okay, now I can learn from this situation, and now from me learning from that first situation, I can handle this situation better because now I know better. Now I know what I want. Now I know how to move. And it's like every person you come into contact with, whether you are aware of it or not, they level you up in some way if you
Right.
choose to learn from it versus victimizing yourself from whatever
Right.
you're in.
Because I had to learn, like, I was attracting a lot of manipulative women. You know what I'm saying? But that was due to me being too nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't realize that about myself. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? I was just being way too nice to, giving my energy to people who didn't really deserve my energy.
I
You
can
know what I'm saying?
relate.
And, that has certain people, that I was attracting that would attempt to take advantage of my generosity and just how I am as a person. So, but that was I wasn't setting
Boundaries.
boundaries. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't standing on what I needed to stand on, and I thought I could save and help everybody that I came across. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing what was actually going on. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying?
really saving and helping you save yourself,
Right.
to be honest, because that's the same problem I had with myself, was always trying to help others before I help myself. And it's like it feels good to help others, but at the same time you can't help more than you can help yourself. It's like you want what's best for them, but what about you? And when you learn that your inner child wounds come up in relationships, and there's parts of you that you're not realizing that you have to deal with, it comes up in a way where it causes like inner turmoil with yourself, and you're trying to figure out where this trigger is coming from. Why do I feel this way? And that comes up when you're in relationships, when you find friendships, or whatever environment you're in. Those emotional triggers come up, and it's up to you to work on those and figure out why they feel like that. Because if you try to suppress them and leave them behind, they come up in the most randomest ways. And for me, I had a problem with holding my feelings and emotions in, where they will come out randomly if I'm overstimulated or anxiety. And it's like I have to realize that me dealing with everything I've dealt with, I never victimized myself, but yet I never allowed myself to release that. And it's because I was feeling like I shouldn't be feeling this way for that, but I still have to allow myself to forgive myself for not knowing and release those things and move forward. Because if I was to hold on to these things and feel myself a resentment and blame everybody, then I wouldn't be no worse. I wouldn't be no better than them. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like I have to go, okay, I saw the problem. I seen what needs to be done. I learned from it and I move forward. And
Right.
if I don't allow myself to feel the feelings that I need to feel, because people say you and your feelings. No, I'm feeling my feelings. I'm acknowledging my feelings. I'm learning how to process my feelings. I'm not allowing those who make me feel like my feelings don't matter, like my feelings matter, don't matter. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so, that's why I say, like, there's no win when you're playing victim. It's like
Exactly. Like
you take that and
it
you,
keeps you from growing.
yeah.
It in a nutshell, it just keeps you from growing when you're playing victim, when you're not taking accountability, when you're not, standing on business, so to speak. You're not setting clear boundaries and standing on that, enforcing those boundaries. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that was something I had to learn. Set clear boundaries and enforce them. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Don't
Let them know up front what you want, what you will tolerate, what you won't.
what you want, basically. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And that came with time, me going through, different relationships with different people. You know what I'm saying? And then having them make me feel a certain type of way, but me not saying anything about it when I should have.
Yes,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
that's a lot of people's problem today. Is we don't want to hurt no one's feelings, and our feelings matter first before we try to until it's like I need to make sure I'm expressing myself well enough so you can understand my feelings instead of trying to mask them and make you feel better about how I feel just because I don't want to disrupt the energy because if I express myself it might disrupt something. But to be honest, I always go by saying rejection is protection. If you can't be fully completely honest with your person or anybody that you're in relationships with, then that person isn't for you, and you have to know that we may want things because we like it, it makes us feel good because but at the end of the day, if you're not being fully honest with yourself and that person, you're only creating an illusion that you're soon just going to fall apart because
Right.
you created a mask to like hide the real you behind the version that that is acceptable for this person.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, you start becoming the person instead of being yourself. You start becoming the person that you think this other person wants you to be,
Yes.
and it's only going to cause friction and turmoil eventually because the real you is going to fight against that all the way.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So the battle will become within yourself, so to speak. You'll be fighting against yourself just to be in this situation with this person because you're trying so hard to get them to treat you a certain way, but they're not treating you that way. So you're becoming a person that's not you
And
in
that's
order
so
to
that's
get close to the treatment
mm.
that you want to have from this person.
And that is a great example because a lot of us don't realize that we wake up every day with a closet drawer full of masks that we need to put on for people. When really, it's only the society that made you feel like you had to do this, you had to be that. Because who likes to feel outcast? Who likes to feel alone? But at the end of the day, sometimes it takes standing out to really stand in your power. And it's
Right.
like I can't. I thought about the way women are portrayed or like kind of groomed to be a certain way, look a certain way, act a certain way, just to attract a certain person, a certain type of man in their life. And in the reality, it's just being yourself that you need to attract the man that's for you, and not the man that you want may not be the man that's for you, because the man you want may not want you because and now you looking to see what he wants, and now you're trying to become something that you're not. And it's like if you could just accept the fact that he ain't for you or he or she or whatever the situation ain't for you, and just allow yourself to be who you are authentically, you will attract something even better than what you thought you wanted.
And when you wear, a little, different from what you're just talking about, but when you wear these masks and pretend to be, trying to be a certain type of person for this person that you're with, eventually, see, you stop taking accountability for how you're being treated, and you tend to blame that person when that person is only doing as much as you allowed them to do,
Oh yes, that's a good
and
one.
they're being themselves, and it's not you refuse to pull the wool from your own eyes to see that this person is not for you
Take the rose-colored glasses off.
because you see what you want to see in that person.
Yes.
So you're pretending all the way around. So none of that is going to work. And
Um.
that starts with the victim. Like, you can't be the victim. You
Oh
can't,
my gosh.
you know what I'm saying?
You know what's so funny? I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was literally thinking about like anime, like how I watch the One Piece and stuff, and how like Sanji's a lover boy, but yet he's like the guy that can't commit because he's got commitment issues, but he loves women. But at the same time, it's like if he was to, he meets women all the time, and yet he becomes delusional with what he wants out of the woman when he can clearly see the woman doesn't want him the way he wants them.
Right.
So it's like when you see someone and you're attracted to them and you want them so bad, it's like, yeah, it's a test for you versus a test for them, because now you're like, okay, I want her. What do I need to do to get her? if she doesn't want me already. If she doesn't want you naturally, then all that extra stuff is just like it's like an illusion. And then that's why women find themselves getting with a guy who they be like, oh well, I thought you were this, but really you were that. The illusions of or the mask. You can't
allow the fake to become your reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, like, if you're in a victim mindset, blaming others for, what's transpiring and what's going on that's not necessarily beneficial to you, that's because you haven't taken accountability for your own actions leading up to that. And
you want people to treat you a certain way. You have to give them you have to tell them how to treat you.
Or
you
set
have
the
to
standard
set the
by
standards.
treating yourself that way.
Facts. You can't allow someone to treat you some way. You can't, if they don't want to treat you that way, that's on them, and that's just who they are. You treat yourself the way you need to be treated, utmost high, to the utmost highest, best version of you. Like, if you want someone to buy you flowers, you buy you flowers. You want someone to take you out, you take yourself out. And it's like, you can't be mad when someone else is, you want someone else to do it when they clearly are not showing you that that's what they are doing.
That's just like, let me put it on the base level. Just like when you get in somebody's car and that car is clean, it's immaculate. It don't smell like no smoke or anything like that. Before you do anything in that car, you're gonna ask that person, because you already know, we common sense. Oh damn, can I smoke in here? You mind if I eat in here? Something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Your mindfulness of trying to see what that person is allowing.
And that's because they have already set the standard by them treating their vehicle or whatever in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? That lets you know, what I'm saying? Oh, I can't do certain things in this car. I can't treat their car.
It's just like taking your shoes off at someone's house. Oh, I can't walk in your house with your shoes on because you don't allow that. And that's why it goes to say, how many people have you allowed to overstep your boundaries, if you even had any? And if you didn't have any, how will you change what you need to change so that you can have boundaries, healthy boundaries, to help you be at peace with yourself and not allow others to come and portray and project what they want out of you to do for them instead of what you could do for yourself. That also helps them in a way. You know what I mean? So,
and that's just like, as a man, when I meet a woman, if she's already getting her hair done, getting her nails done, respecting herself, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't allow people to talk to her a certain kind of way. Don't allow men to catcall her or something like that. Me approaching her.
Because she ain't coming around.
Yeah, I said that because I looked at your ears.
I know, and I looked at them too. You can't catcall me, even if I look like it. I'm still gonna let you know. I don't care. It's just like a woman that she has on a certain outfit and you feel like you can just disrespect her because you feel like that's what you could do. But the moment she stands up for herself and stands her ground and set her boundaries where you can't do that, then you're forced to respect her, whether
because she respects herself.
Exactly. It's like, oh,
I have to treat her.
I don't like you, but I respect you because you respect yourself.
And as a man, if I want to gain any ground with her, and I can clearly see the way she treats herself, I'm going to treat her that way and better. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Just so I can gain the ground and the foothold with her. But that's because she respects herself and she takes accountability for herself. She's treating herself a certain way, which is forcing me to treat her a certain way.
Right. She's not playing victim, for one. She's not pointing the blame for another. She's actually saying, you know what, that was my fault. Let me get that. Let me fix that. Let me work on that. Let me, if it's an argument, what can I do to change for myself to make things better? Not blaming, oh, that happened and that's going to happen and now I'm going to be mad. And it's like, okay, why get upset? What can I do to help myself in this situation?
Right.
And it's like, that's why I feel like playing victim can only get you so far and it won't get you far at all, to be honest. It's like, it's like, who wants to be around someone that's feeling sorry for themselves and everything and not really and they're like, okay, it's like, okay, that happened, what you gonna do about it? And if you're not making any plans to do anything about it, instead you're just gonna sit there and complain about it. I mean,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna change anything.
What's
You know what I'm
gonna
saying?
What's gonna come of that?
Nothing at all. You're gonna
You're
be
gonna
complacent and stuck in the same
And
spot
then
doing the
you're gonna
same
have
thing.
people that are you're gonna feel like everyone's surpassing you because they're not in that lack mindset. They're not in that victim mindset where they're like, well, shit, I'm in the hood, so I'm gonna be a hood nigga.
And I was just about to say, as a black male coming from, urban or impoverished, what I'm saying, neighborhoods and stuff like that, it's easy to play the victim. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to let your environment get the better of you and best you. You know what I'm saying? But the
That
hard part
comfort.
is looking at your surroundings and saying, I'm not going to let this define me. I'm going to rise above this. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how many times you get knocked down or things pop up, you know what I'm saying? When you take accountability and look at situations from the winning mindset, like, what can I learn from this? Then you're gonna rise above that situation. You're gonna come through
It's
and
just
over
like
that obstacle.
it's just like fighting someone. Like, going back to my anime show One Piece, Luffy is a prime example of fighting and never letting the fight him. He's like, I'm gonna always get back up. I don't care if you beat me to a pulp. I'm gonna get up and find a way to beat you better than I thought I could beat you the last time. Like, I'm getting better and better by even when I get knocked down. Even when I'm getting knocked down, I'm learning from how not to get knocked down the same way. It's like I don't play victim by saying, "Oh, I'm not strong enough," or "He's just a." I'm like, "Fuck." Now, I'm just gonna have to take this loss and be like, "Damn, I underestimated. Now I need to learn from this mistake or this lesson and become stronger, become better,
Right.
and know how to move the next time instead of playing victim and always say, "Well, I can't be this," or I'm this person. I'm weak. What's that gonna do?
Victims lose. Put it
And,
like that.
and that's what he would do if he was to continue. If he had that mindset, he would never win. He would never be. He wouldn't be the Luffy he is in the show. He would
if
be.
if you know what I'm saying, like if you're labeled a victim, you lost. Even when
Don't let the situation. It's You can be a victim of a situation, but don't play the victim
yeah,
lead.
don't I was just gonna say that. Like you could be a heinous crime, something you have no control over could happen to you. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it might be traumatic. You know what I'm saying? And you might have to go through a more
You might have to
a
do a
state of grief
reconditioning.
and you know what I mean, get counseling, therapy,
But
whatever.
that's taking accountability for saying this happened to me, so now I'm going to work on how to get myself through
Better,
this
yeah,
and get better. Versus, oh, this happened to me. I don't know what to do. I'm stuck.
yeah.
I'm da da da
My
da.
life is
My life
over.
is over. It's like it's over because you said it was over, so therefore it's going to be over.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You
And
have to face it head on.
I wholeheartedly feel like God is experiencing in Himself within us. So if He wants to experience an overcoming of the power that He knows we have within ourselves, it's like if we're all from one source and we're all spread it out, and one of us needed to learn a certain experience of how to become better at something, I feel like you have to, in order for you to evolve and become greater than you are at this moment, you have to go through certain trials and tribulations and lessons in your life and learn from those experiences and not victimize yourself from them. It's like if I have to become this person, this is part of my journey that has to come
Yeah,
into
evolution.
effect. Yeah, your evolution to become that version of yourself. And in order for, like I said, God is experiencing Himself in human form, and He wants to experience all versions of Himself and how He can think His way out of something, how He can, just basically put Himself in a mindset where He knows but He doesn't know. So it's like that's why I was like, when you say I'm God, I'm a goddess, it's you are in His image and likeness. So in order for you to evolve and become in that higher consciousness and become Christ consciousness, you have to go through these experiences and evolve from these, you know, situations that you've been put in to see the power that you have within yourself,
Yeah.
to bring out that power within you so that you learn how to use it and harness it in the best way possible.
Yeah, and turn all your losses, your L's, so to speak, into lessons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Things you can learn from and elevate.
And put that B right in front of it, then they become blessings. It's like, not really, but you know what I mean? Take that B, instead of getting less and turn it to a B and make it a bless. It's like I'm getting blessed even when I feel like I'm getting less, it's like you feel less, but at the same time, you're getting, in order for you to get the bigger, the big, I don't know how to say it, like in order for you to reach that higher goal in your life, you got to start off small first. It's
Yeah,
like, and you take, and it takes these different, you know, moments in your life where you have to
yeah,
constantly.
because those things you go through, they shape you, and if you let it destroy you or beat you down, you know what I'm saying, then that's just where you're gonna be at, on the bottom, getting beat down, living in a victim mindset, just, oh, woe is me, the world is out to get me, the world's against me, nobody's for me type shit. And then just because you're living in that mindset and got those type of things going on through your head, like that's what you're going to attract. You're going to attract people who aren't for you. You're going to attract situations that don't benefit you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the basically the law of attraction. What you believe within
Mm-hmm.
is going to express itself without. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So as within, as without, as above, so below.
Right.
You know, law of, not the law of attraction, but the,
Yeah, it is. It's the law of attraction. The
it start with a
attraction.
C though.
What?
It's the law of damn, it was on the tip of my tongue.
Uh, I'm not sure.
Is it not consonants? Um,
Conscious?
no, no, no.
Christ?
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
I can't remember. But is it the law of correlation? No.
I could have sworn it was just the law of attraction,
Yeah, it's that, but
but it's a deeper
it's another
another
word.
underneath it.
Law of correspondence.
Okay.
That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, as within, as without, as above, so below. So
Your
how you,
cause and effect happens. You
yeah,
know,
how
what
you,
you put out is what you get back. What you reap is what you sow.
yeah,
Everything. It's like even when you're down to the very words that you speak upon yourself, it
right,
comes. And your words are, even God said, that what His words, what He was. It started in the mind, and if you manifest it here, if you feel that way within yourself, and you speak that, it becomes that. You have to learn to retract what you say sometimes because sometimes those things that are coming to your mind are not your thoughts, and you have to learn to take those thoughts and transmute them into something positive versus allowing those negative thoughts to overcome you and make you and define you and make you feel like you are the thoughts that you are feeling. And your feelings are temporarily. Feelings come and go with the situation and based off your own perception of how you've been treated. And
right,
your feelings are valid, but they aren't always, facts. So
yeah.
you have to allow yourself to feel
That's
and
so
then
dope. You
yeah.
just said that, like, cause yeah, your feelings are valid, but how you feel might not necessarily be the reality of a situation.
Facts. It's like, dang, that hurt my feelings, but you don't know the actual full bigger picture of what it
Yeah,
is. It's like
it's
you
just
only know,
how it's making you feel right now. That's all you know.
and that's one thing you have to learn not to let control you because your feelings could have put you in a situation that will make you be an even worse situation
Yeah,
because you reacted off of those feelings versus trying to, you know, um,
versus acknowledging those feelings, letting them pass, and then taking in the entire situation and making a logical decision
yeah, because in
before
an
your next
instant,
course of action.
your emotions can put you in a worse situation than you
Right.
started. And if you're not allowing yourself to regulate and calm and self regulate yourself and go, hold on, let me stop, let me think, and let me take myself out of this situation because if I don't take myself out of it, then I can make it worse. Because a
Yeah.
lot of people don't have that self control that they need to have in order for them to leave out of a situation. Because if you don't have self control, you allow your ego to operate in the runner seat, and then your ego is only going to make things worse.
I was just about to say, a lot of times your ego does more damage than it does help. But don't
Right.
get it twisted. You still need your ego.
Yes.
But
You
you got
gotta
to keep your
have
ego in check.
exactly. It's like if you like. I've already seen this. I seen the video about how this guy described all our emotions, like envy, jealousy, ego. All of them sitting at the table, and you don't want your ego sitting at the top of the table, controlling everything and telling everybody how to move, making jealous more jealous, making envy more envy, putting you in and operating out of your low vibrational your frequencies. Instead, you need to have a cap on them things, on them emotions, and learn to use them when they're needed instead of allowing them to run free all day,
Right.
every day. And
You
then you're
definitely got
out.
to keep your emotions in check, and that doesn't mean bottle them up and shove them down.
Exactly. That doesn't
That
mean that
means
either.
acknowledge them, accept them. You know what I'm saying, and then let them pass. You know what I'm saying,
Exactly.
and then take the facts and all the facts of the information that
Yeah,
you
you got to
have and make
filter
a
it out.
logical decision.
Yeah. Because I know every day we make choices where we regret the choice we made, but then we be like, well, I don't regret it because at the end of the day, I learned a little bit more about myself. And it's like, damn, I made that based off this. And it's like, okay, what do I need to recognize and, see about myself that allowed me to that made me make that choice? And it's like, once you see how you win and what made you make that choice, that goes into accountability on where it came. It's like what put me where I'm at today. It's like, okay, regardless of how and when and how I put myself in this position, I can always change it. Whether it feels good or not, you have the power to change your situation. And
Right.
majority of things that are new in your life are a little uncomfortable, but at the same time, a lot of new things anyways are uncomfortable because you have to learn to adapt and rearrange and um, you know,
And you
even
can't doing that. You can't do that playing the victim.
yeah,
You can't adapt to situations when you're playing the victim because you're looking at it as if it's happening to you and not for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you put all your focus in as to what's happening to you instead of what you can learn from it and how you can solve the problem and rise above it or come out on the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? Better than what you were and stronger than what you were before. You know what I'm saying? But all that starts with changing your mindset from victimization to a winning mindset,
mm-hmm,
an accountable mindset, you know?
yep. And at the end of the day, guys, you have the power to change any and everything, any situation you're in, any relationship you're in, any job you're at, any place you're living. It takes time to get where you need to be, but at the end of the day, even if you're in a position that you may not be comfortable in or you're not really, you don't really like, you can learn to make the best of it and choose to bring peace into your your energetic field. It's like, okay, I can sit here and mope about my situation, or I can find a way to make it better.
Legitimate.
Because moping is never going to make you move forward. Only making things help that can help you feel better about yourself and move forward can get you into to making that next step that you need to make.
Yeah, like,
So
you know, if if your skies aren't bright enough, change your stars. You know what I'm saying? You are the god of yourself or the goddess. So you have the power to change your reality.
and if your painting's not painting, get you a new canvas and repaint. It's
Legit.
like if you don't like where you're at, work on getting somewhere better. It's like baby steps, and no matter what, as long as you're moving forward, and no matter what position you're at, what block you're in, what square you're in, you can always move forward. Because life is like a game of chess, and it's about making the right moves to get you to the other side and having that checkmate that you need and that you
Yeah.
deserve.
And an educated move.
Yes.
And an educated move starts with like you said with the chess analogy. You got to look at what steps you took to get to where you are and what steps you need to take to get to where you're trying to get to.
Yep. And everything, one thing I can say is when you actually get to from square one to square five, you keep a note of all the squares you go through, and when you look back, you won't even recognize yourself when you look back and see where you started because you were only focusing on the positive and not the negative. You were learning how to transmute the negative into something positive. You became the magician in your life, and you took and found all the tools that you were given, that life gave to you, and you made magic out of it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, learn to take those rocks that they throw at you, those sticks and stones, and build a mansion, build a house, build your confidence,
Legit.
walk your way up into a better version of yourself. Because nothing happens overnight,
Right.
and things may come fast for others, but may not for you, and it's okay too. You just have to learn that everybody's on a different path, everybody's in their own lane, and No, never to judge others for how they do things, but just simply state your own opinion about how you feel things, and hopefully maybe you can help inspire those to move past their situation and know that I'm in this situation because one, before I end it, you have to learn to detach from a lot of things that are keeping you in that mindset. Because if you hold on to things, people, places, and situations, and you feel like these are the reasons why you can't move forward, they will be the ones that are having that really have power over you, and you need to learn to cut those ties and detach from the things, people, places, and things that are not allowing you to move forward. And it's like it hurts sometimes, but it's because we created that world for ourselves to help us feel better. But really, that illusion doesn't last but for so long. And when you are finally ready to move forward, these illusions will no longer be able to keep you at bay, because now they're like you have to get to that person. You need to get to that point, and that world that you created is no longer, is not able to come with you into the next journey. It's like you have to learn to detach, and you know,
Like,
it's like holding on
leave
to
the old you in that old world. Leave that
yes,
behind.
yep,
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't you take you into whatever situation. So leave the old you. Go ahead and take the necessary steps to evolve into who you're trying to become, the better version of yourself. But you have to leave that old you in that old world with
yep.
those old habits and things of that nature.
You think about Marvel with Wanda's vision. She left that world that created chaos and created a new one with her own magic. She didn't even know she had, and she realized she was more powerful than she could ever imagine. But at the same time, it took a tragedy for it to come out. And it's like, you know, don't you may have felt like the victim in that situation, but you transmuted that energy into something much greater, and you created your world of happiness.
And keep it simple. Victim mindset equals negativity. Positive mindset, well, winning mindset equals positivity, and vice versa. Positive mindset equals winning. Victim mindset equals negativity and losing. It's just that simple.
And everything starts out with the choice. The
Legitimate.
choice is always yours. And
So,
with that being said,
as always, she gonna keep it spiritual. I'm gonna keep it lyrical. So be cool how you be cool, be you and be true.
we're going to catch you guys on another episode of Dropping Gems 252.